Donald Trump has just been fined $8,000 for violations of a gag order imposed by the judge. So that's 8 different violations, $1,000 each, that total $8,000. Back with Katie and Jana. Did you expect this, or is there more to come, Katie?
I expected that he would issue sanctions based upon his responses to the defense attorneys during argument. Judge Merchan made it very clear he felt that Trump had violated these orders. Again, I believe that the orders are unconstitutionally vague, and especially the order pertaining to Trump's commentary on the judge's own daughter, which, according to the order, can only be enforced if it interferes with the judge's work. And if that's the case, then the judge should have clearly recused himself. So it's a very circular situation with that. But absolutely, this is what we expected. I believe there's another hearing on Thursday for additional allegations of violations of the order.
So this might be an occasion.
Welcome to Verbal on Life. My name is Noel, battling MS. Thank you for joining us. I wanted to take a look at Benny Johnson's reporting on Donald Trump, who's about to announce that he will run from jail if this judge were to put him in jail. And that's just a crazy scenario, in my opinion. But if this is your first time on the channel, just click on that like button so like that we could expose this information to more and more people. As we speak, the Secret Service is talking to the NYPD about how they're going to handle locking that man up. That's crazy. It's really, really happening. Let's see if Trump pushes the boundaries and get him to lock him up. He just received a $9,000 fine for talking. Let's see what else. So let's take a look at Benny Johnson's reporting.
Where that will go. The jury was not in the room when those violations were announced and the fines were announced. They were brought in afterwards. But Jana, in this situation, will the jury know about that?
No, they shouldn't, especially if they're following the order that they're not supposed to be on social media. They're not supposed to be doing their own homework, so to speak. And if I were representing Donald Trump, I would tell him to write that check for $16,000 and go violate that ridiculous gag order another 8 times. That's what I would tell him. We were talking again. This is so unfair, given that he's taken off the campaign trail.
There's a reason why we don't prosecute people running for presidency or in the campaign season. Because of this, because of the unfairness. I mean, this is over the top. And it's getting more and more people to actually vote for Donald Trump. Comment below, what do you think?
Jurors can't do their own homework. He should not be gagged.
This is the moment we are living in crazy time period right now. I want to give a shout out to Benny Johnson, who's covering this. And we got to cover it. We got to say something. So like that, we could look back about this time in life where they were using lawfare to take down an ex-president. That's crazy. And we got to be honest, man. This is just unfair. And at the end of the day, the best thing that could happen to Trump, in my opinion, is getting him locked up. If that man goes to jail, it's going to be crazy time, in my opinion, but we don't know. Let's see how far the judge is willing to push this issue. Is he willing to lock up the ex-president? But again, that's just my speculation. We're living in some crazy time right now. Let's keep looking at this video because this is crazy, crazy era. So again, shout out to Benny Johnson. He does a great job here reporting.
However, the president has, and this is very important breaking news, been now fined and found in contempt of court. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the article. Donald Trump fined $9,000 for violating the gag order. Judge warns that he will face jail. Ladies and gentlemen, so the judge has found that Donald Trump will face jail. There is another contempt hearing soon on this topic. This is what Donald Trump was commenting on moments ago at the courthouse. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Donald Trump's full, yes, yeah, okay, we got it, ladies and gentlemen.
Politicians were smart to set it up so like that they cannot go to jail or they cannot be fined during the election season. So things like this don't happen. And now we have Trump, who was a non-politician, a businessman, who got into politics, and now they're trying to take him down using lawfare. Insane. Let's see.
Gentlemen, here are Donald Trump's full comments from the courthouse. Let's go.
Thank you very much. So we begin again. This is a case that should never have been brought. Every single major legal scholar Jonathan Turley, Greg Jarrett, Andy McCarthy, Dershowitz, every single scholar, Mark Levin, the great Mark Levin, had a whole show on it last night, said that this is a disgraceful case. It's a disgrace to the New York state and city court system. And all of the cases are, frankly, all of them are. You probably saw last night that Jack Smith got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. It was released late last night, and it's a big story. The documents case is a hoax created by them for election interference purposes. And so that one looks like it's going asunder. A brilliant judge saw some facts, and I haven't read what was revealed yet. It just came out. But the document hoax is indeed a hoax. The whole thing is a hoax. All of them are hoaxes, including the civil cases. They're controlled by the White House. They're controlled by Democrat judges and prosecutors that were put there specifically. They hate Trump. And the people are getting it. That's why we just came out. A new Emerson poll just was released about 2 minutes ago. And I'm leading by a lot in every swing state and leading in the general election. And you saw the CNN poll. I'm sure they aren't too happy with it, but the CNN poll was fantastic. So we're here. This is a hoax. This is a judge who's conflicted, badly conflicted. I've never seen a judge so conflicted, and giving us virtually no rulings. Here I'm not even allowed to say advice of counsel. This is a new one to me, advice of counsel. When you have a lawyer and the lawyer does something or advises you on something, you say advice of counsel. He said you're not allowed to say that. And so you'll all figure it out. But I think the public has figured it out because the poll numbers are the highest they've ever been. And I appreciate you treated me, actually, I thought quite fairly, at least the people here, which is a lot of people. And I appreciate that. The Biden protests that are going on are horrible. It's all caused by him because he doesn't know how to speak. He can't put two sentences together. He's got to get out and make a statement because the colleges are being overrun in this country. The anti-Semitism, all of the problems going on, they're being overrun. I've never seen anything like it. He said he ran because of Charlottesville. Well, if the people that know Charlottesville, when you extend the statement, it's a big hoax what they say was said, and they understand that. And Charlottesville is peanuts compared to what you're looking at now. This whole country is up in arms, breaking into colleges, knocking the hell out of Columbia University. I mean, they took over. I know the building very well. They took over a building. That is a big deal. And I wonder if what's going to happen to them will be anything comparable to what happened to J6, because they're doing a lot of destruction, a lot of damages, a lot of people getting hurt very badly. I wonder if that's going to be the same kind of treatment they gave J6. Let's see how that all works out. I think I can give you the answer right now. And that's why people have lost faith in our court system. So the Biden protests are a disaster, and he hasn't even made a statement because he's not capable of making a statement. I'm still waiting for him to debate. He said on the very lowly rated Howard Stern show, he said very strongly, I want to debate. Well, we haven't seen it. But we would love to debate anytime, and I think it's a good time to have a debate, even though it's early. But 6 months is pretty close. November 5th is going to go down as the most important day in the history of our country because we're going to turn our country around. Our country is going to hell. It's going to hell. It's very sad to see. But November 5th is going to be the most important day in the history of our country. So I'm going to go into this trial. I'm going to sit in a freezing cold icebox for 8 hours, 9 hours or so. They took me off the campaign trail. But the good news is my poll numbers are the highest they've ever been, so at least we're getting the word out. And everybody knows this trial is a scam. It's a scam. The judge should be recused, and he should recuse himself today. It's the most recusable judge I've ever. It's called recusal abuse, and he should recuse himself today. And maybe he will. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll do the right thing. But really, more importantly than the recusal, he should terminate the case today. The judge should terminate the case because they have no case. As Jonathan Turley said, as all of them said, every single one of them, Dershowitz, McCarthy, everyone, Greg Jarrett, Mark Levin, they all said this case should be ended immediately. This case is over. It should be ended immediately. And many of them are not fans of mine, but they want to do the right thing for the country. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. And I'm going to go into the icebox now and sit for about 8 hours or 9 hours. I'd much rather be in Georgia. I'd much rather be in Florida. I'd much rather be in states that are in play, states that, I'd like to be able to campaign. Biden's out campaigning, if you call it campaigning. He can't campaign because every time he opens his mouth, he gets in trouble. But Biden is out campaigning very nicely. I think when I start campaigning, he'll stop. He'll go back into his basement. But I want to thank everybody. You've really been treating me very fair. I want to thank Time Magazine. They did a cover story, which is very nice. And it's actually, there's at least 60%, it's at least 60% correct, which is about all I can ask for. So I want to thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Are you going to be part of the Proud Boys of Keepers?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, fulfilling our oath to.
That's crazy. Shout out to Donald Trump, brave enough to come and talk against the judge with no fear. Hold on, let me take this out the way. The man got no fear that the judge may take it out on him for doing that, for coming on TV and talking against the judge. And all of this, he's doing it for us. He said it. He's doing it for you and me. Because at the end of the day, the man is a millionaire. He can go retire and play golf for the rest of his life. But instead, he's running for president to try to save the country. Because we live in some crazy, crazy time. Let me see what else Benny Johnson got to say.
And makes hundreds of millions of dollars off a psychosexual fantasy fundraising of locking up Donald Trump. And now daddy gets to do daughter's bidding. Really, it's incredible. It's like Herod in the Bible. It is remarkable. So the judge is going to fulfill his daughter's greatest wish, which is, of course, to lock Donald Trump up. There is another hearing on Thursday where the judge, who has already threatened Donald Trump with jail, will hear more potential violations of the gag order. Donald Trump has called these people sleazeballs and did so there. Donald Trump, who is, as we have covered many times, aging in reverse, is now facing an incarceratory sentence, the judge threatened in the ruling. The judge has threatened, this is Judge Juan.
This is making the law look bad because he's going to have to come through with his wishes, with what he wants. The judge is going to have to go through and lock up Donald Trump, which is the worst case scenario. If you lock up Trump, he's definitely going to win.
Merchan to impose an incarceratory sentence. If Trump continued to violate the gag order, we'll have another hearing on this. Judge Merchan updated the gag order to prohibit attacks on his family members, mainly because his family members are corrupt as hell, and this judge is corrupt as hell, and because of the broken nature of New York, now the judge, it's the judge.
It's making the law look bad. This is the worst case scenario. We are living in some crazy time where they're just locking regular people up.
Judge's job to say that he is conflicted. Isn't that remarkable? What a system we have. The judge has to tell everyone that he's conflicted. I don't see that happening, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see that happening. This judge has dead eyes. This judge is clearly a self-aggrandizing sycophant. And this guy wants Donald Trump in jail. He wants to be the first guy to throw shackles on Donald Trump.
Yo,
do it.
The man is going to be popular if he locks up Donald Trump, the most popular judge in this country.
Donald Trump says do it. Donald Trump on Truth Social said, I want to run from prison for president. He said, I'll do it. I'll be Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
You throw me in jail, I'll be Nelson Mandela. All right? Let it happen. Donald Trump saying there, let it happen. These are Biden trials. They are backfiring spectacularly. We have polling to get through there. But also, the wheels have come off. They've lost control. The Biden regime has lost control of the simulation. We'll cover the psychotic Soros protests in a second here. But first, Jonathan Turley, one of our favorite commentators in the political space and the legal space, is saying exactly what we all know to be true, which is that this gag order is intended to protect the corruption of the judge and designed to put Donald Trump in prison. Donald Trump not good on gag orders. Also, an assault on a First Amendment of a guy running for president. He is the Republican Party nominee for president. Jonathan Turley are one of our favorite political and legal commentators. Go.
Yeah, it's basically what we expected. They weren't asking for jail time. The threat is lingering out there. The judge wanted to put this Damocles sword dangling over his head. It's there, and the thread's getting thinner. And that's basically what the judge is saying. Unfortunately, I don't think the judge has re-examined his order. I think it's poorly written, and I also think it's way too broad. And the inclusion of Michael Cohen in that order is absurd. I mean, you have someone who is making money campaigning against Trump and attacking him on this trial, and the judge is letting him speak, but not for the president to respond.
So here is the actual order of the judge. Let's go ahead and click on the image there because it's a little hard to read. So you zoom in, you see, therefore the defendant is hereby warned by the court that it will not tolerate continued willful violations of its lawful orders, necessary and appropriate under the circumstances, will impose incarceratory punishment. Like if you look at this data, many would say keep going. Here's the latest polls on the lawfare backfire Donald Trump.
So we'll get you more information inside the Trump trial in a moment here, but just wanted to take you back to August of 2022, or less than 2 years now, okay? This is where it all began with the FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago. What we have done here on this graphic is show you the yellow line. That's the Fox News approval rating for Donald Trump during all of this, okay? So back then it was at 42%. Let's move along quickly here. You have the indictment in the New York case here in the Trump matter here. You got another indictment in the Docs trial that has now been moved to Miami. Another indictment in the January 6th case, and you see where he dips to 39% at that moment. That was August of 2023, okay? So less than a year ago. Then you got the indictment again. There's a lot of indictments. Indictment in the Georgia election case down in Fulton County. You see where it starts to tick back up here to 43%. And then you have this monster ruling against Trump with the business fraud case in New York, $454 million. You also had that monster ruling against him with E. Jean Carroll, $83 million. And then you had a couple states like Maine and Colorado trying to overturn and kick Trump off the ballot. That was overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court to keep him on the ballot. And look where the trend line was, right? We started, what were we? Hang on, Jimmy. We had 42% way back then. Dana, we're at 45% now for Trump right on day 9 inside the court.
So let me leave it right there. The more they prosecute Trump, I think it's obvious his numbers keep going up higher. He keeps getting better and better. They keep showing us that he's not doing it for him. He's doing it for us. Because if they could do it to that guy, a regular businessman, like don't get into politics, or else they would throw the law at you, they would throw the book at you. Hey, we're looking at it in real time. We never thought we were going to get to this point in life where we get to see them misuse the law against their enemy, but it is what's happening. But hey, that's just what I think. Let me know what you think. Comment down below.
Verbalonlife.
All of this, I think Trump is playing 4D chess. He's actually pushing the limits, pushing the boundary to see how far they're willing to take it. We're living in some crazy time right now where they're about to lock up an ex-president, a popular ex-president. And if he turns all the blue cities red, man, it'll be an amazing time. Let's see how they take it.
Verbalonlife.
I'm going to leave it right there. See you guys in the next video. And again, locking Trump up will be amazing. And I want to try to keep that news coming and let you guys know. All right. See you guys in the next video. Peace.